Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a really focused exploration, just one chapter from the Old Testament, the Book of Obadiah.
That's right.
Our source is the King James Version, and, well, our goal is to really unpack the message of this short but pretty intense prophecy against Edom.
And what's striking, as you said, is that focus. It's not scattering shots. It's aimed squarely at one nation, Edom.
Yeah, it grabs you right away.
It does. The very first verse lays it out. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. So no ambiguity there. It's divine. It's about Edom.
Okay.
And then it mentions this rumor from the Lord and an ambassador sent among the nations, the heathen, basically to stir them up for war against Edom. It sets a pretty dramatic stage.
So divine message, international plot against Edom, basically. And verse 2 just hits hard. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. That's pretty blunt.
Extremely blunt, and it's presented not just as like a current state, but as something God has done or will do. It's a decreed future of being diminished and looked down upon.
Okay, so why? Verses 3 and 4 start giving us the reason, and it points straight to the pride of thine heart. It says they were deceived by this pride, living up in the clefts of the rock, thinking their habitation is high. It's like they felt untouchable.
Exactly. That geography, the mountains, it gave them this false sense of security. They literally ask, who shall bring me down to the ground? Real arrogance there.
Yeah, you can almost hear it.
But the divine response cuts right through that. Even if you soar like an eagle, set your nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. God says their perceived height is no defense against his judgment.
So that pride, rooted in their physical security, is pinpointed as the core deception.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
a powerful link between their environment and their fatal flaw.
Then verses 5 and 6, they use this interesting comparison to show how complete the destruction will be.
Right, the thieves and the grape gatherers.
Yeah, if thieves came or people harvesting grapes, they'd only take so much, maybe leave some behind.
You'd expect some gleanings left, yes.
But not with Edom. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? It sounds like absolutely everything will be taken. Total ruin.
It really emphasizes the thoroughness of the judgment. It's not a raid. It's an utter stripping away. Even things they thought were hidden, safe, they'll be found and lost. It underlines the severity.
And adding to that severity, verse 7 talks about betrayal, like from their own allies.
Oh, this is brutal.
All the men of thy confederacy, their treaty partners, will basically escort them to the border, push them out.
Yeah.
People they were supposedly at peace with will deceive and overcome them. Even those who eat thy bread, shared meals, intimacy.
Right, that phrase is so potent.
They have laid a wound under thee, like a hidden trap, a betrayal from within.
It's treachery from the closest circles.
Yeah.
And that last bit, there is none understanding in him,
Yeah.
suggests Edom is completely blind to it. They don't see it coming.
So pride, total material destruction, and now betrayal by their closest allies. It's a cascade of disaster.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it highlights how external defenses mean nothing if your alliances crumble and you lack insight.
Then verses 8 and 9, it's like another layer is stripped away, their wisdom and their military strength.
God declares he'll destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau.
And Teman, which was known for wisdom apparently, its mighty men will be dismayed, powerless.
Yes, Teman was reputedly a center of Edomite wisdom. So losing that and their military might leaves them completely exposed strategically and physically, leading to being cut off by slaughter. It's the removal of any capacity to resist.
Okay, so we've seen the judgment, the mechanisms, why. Verses 10 to 14 finally spell it out. It's crystal clear.
It is the core charge.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That relationship, brother Jacob, that's key, isn't it?
Absolutely crucial. Edom descended from Esau, Jacob's twin brother. This isn't just violence against a neighbor, it's against family. That makes their actions so much worse in this context.
And what did they do? The verse is listed out. They stood aloof when Jerusalem was invaded.
Stood on the other side, yeah, verse 11.
They looked on, even rejoiced, spoke proudly while Judah was suffering. They entered the city gates during the calamity.
Not just entered, but verse 13 says they looked on their affliction, laid hands on their substance. Looting, basically.
Right. And even worse, blocking escape routes, handing over survivors. Verse 14 mentions standing in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape and delivering up refugees.
And that repeated phrase, in the day of their distress, in the day of their calamity, it just hammers home the callousness. They took advantage of their brother's lowest point.
It's not just indifference. It sounds like active, opportunistic cruelty against family.
That's exactly the picture painted, profiting from Jacob's suffering.
Then the focus kind of zooms out a bit in verses 15 and 16. It talks about the day of the Lord being near upon all the heathen.
Yeah, it broadens the scope beyond just Edom.
And it introduces this principle, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Sort of a universal justice.
Exactly. Reciprocity. Edom becomes Exhibit A for how this divine justice works. What they did to Judah will boomerang back onto them and implicitly onto other nations who act similarly.
That image of drinking on God's holy mountain, then all nations drinking and becoming as though they had not been, what's that about?
Well, the drinking could signify Edom's participation in celebrating Judah's fall, maybe even sacrilegiously on Mount Zion, or just their general arrogance. Now they and all nations like them will drink the cup of God's wrath, leading to oblivion. It's a metaphor for judgment.
Okay, so Edom's fate is a pattern for wider judgment, but then there's a shift, isn't there? Verses 17 onward offer hope.
A definite shift, a crucial one.
Yeah.
While Edom faces annihilation, upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness.
A complete contrast. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Oh.
Restoration for Jacob, Israel.
Yes. Deliverance, sanctity, reclaiming what was lost. And that imagery in verse 18 is incredibly powerful. Jacob is fire, Joseph is flame, and Esau, Edom, is stubble.
Wow. So just utterly consumed. Final.
Utterly. It leaves no doubt about the final outcome between these two houses. And then it gets specific about territories. They'll reclaim the south, the Philistine plain, Ephraim, Samaria, Gilead, even up toward Zarephath and captives in Sepharad. It's a detailed picture of restoration.
A tangible future hope laid out geographically.
Making the promise concrete.
And the very last verse, 21, it talks about saviors coming up on Mount Zion.
Yes, saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau. These figures, whoever they represent, perhaps leaders, judges, or deliverers raised up by God, will execute justice upon Edom.
Leading to the final ultimate statement, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
That's the culmination. Divine justice is executed, Israel is restored, Edom is judged, and ultimately God's sovereignty over all is established. His kingdom prevails.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Obadiah presents this stark case study. Edom's overwhelming pride, their failure of compassion, their actual violence against their brother nation Jacob in a moment of crisis. It all leads to this comprehensive divine judgment.
Total judgment, humiliation, insecurity, betrayal, destruction.
But contrasted with that is the promise of deliverance, holiness, and restoration for Jacob. It all points towards God's ultimate justice and rule.
The enduring themes are pretty clear, aren't they? The danger of pride, especially pride based on false security, the importance of compassion, kinship, how we treat others in crisis, and, well, divine accountability.
Actions have consequences, especially actions rooted in arrogance and cruelty.
Indeed. It's a very potent message packed into just one chapter.
So here's something for you, listening, to think about. How does an ancient prophecy like this resonate today? Can we see echoes of this dynamic national pride, mistreatment of others, especially those seen as Cain in some way in modern conflicts? What are the high places, the things people or nations trust in today that might be false securities, blinding them to potential consequences down the line? It's definitely something worth reflecting on.
A very relevant question.
Thanks for digging deep into Obadiah with us today.